what to focus on the first week of starting an online business. Maybe you've already started or you're on the verge of starting. If you're like me, you have a bunch of thoughts swirling around your head like, where do I start? What do I focus on first? What should be the priority to starting my online business so that I can put myself in position to make some money? I thought a lot about this, and looking back, I wish I would have done some things differently. Step 1, define what you're selling. If you're starting a business, obviously you have some idea of what it's about, but it's surprising how many of us really don't know what it is that we're selling. Maybe this isn't you. You may already have a product, like maybe you sell stuffed animals, or you crochet, or you have a service-based business like bookkeeping. But if you're not clear on exactly what you're selling and how it helps people, then that would be your first task. I know for me, I had a hard time with that because I was thinking, well, how does art help people? And I spoke to a therapist and she said, well, you know, art can be healing and people need to feel good around their space. So if they enjoy my art and looking at it makes them feel good when they walk into a space, then that's how I'm helping people. So defining that for you would be your first task. Next, once you know what you're selling, the first instinct may be to start selling right away, but don't do that just yet. Products often take a long time to make, so you want to make sure that people even want what you're selling. I know with a service-based business, it's a little bit different. You could probably just jump right in. But when you have a product, especially if it's, say, earrings or clothing, oftentimes you might have some inventory if you're not doing print on demand. So you want to make sure and test it out first. As an artist, I pretty much make art that I like and hope people like it. So it's a little bit different. However, if it was something that I was going to make in bulk or have large quantities of, or have inventory, I definitely would test the product out first. And that goes to my second point, which is pre-sell your product. Instead of creating your product right away, think of pre-selling it first. And there are several ways to do this. One common method is straight up pre-selling, kind of like what people do with Kickstarter. Announce your product launch date, get people to sign up and pay now for a delivery later. That's something that I really enjoy doing when it comes to my limited edition signed prints. Those, I really don't want to print too many unless I know people want them, and it saves me a lot of money and I'm not left with a lot of inventory that I need to offload. Another approach, if you're selling a service or like online coaching or a course, you can pre-sell it and deliver it live. Use a service like Zoom for real-time teaching or coaching, or record lessons to send to your students later. Another thing that I love about pre-selling is that it has a perceived higher value and quicker income since there's no waiting after creation to start making money. So that was step 2, figure out how to pre-sell. And if you need a little bit of help on staying on track, I have a free checklist. It's a starting a home-based business checklist. It's good for both product and service-based businesses. I'll leave the link in the description, so be sure to check that out. Now that you've got clarity on what you're selling and how you're selling it, next it's time to focus on how people can buy your product. There's so many services out now, tools like ThriveCart and Shopify, Squarespace, BigCommerce. I'll do a video on some of my favorite websites for this, but all of them make it so easy. You can literally set these things up in hours, not days, and they allow for payment processors like Stripe and PayPal. It doesn't take as long as you may think. Step 4 is organize your finances. That goes without saying. I don't like that part. It's just really a pain. But it has to be done. So it goes without saying, you know, you want to open up your bank account. Are you going to use your actual name? Do you have a DBA? You want to have your bookkeeping software in order like QuickBooks, or free software like Wave. I think I did a short about Wave. Or did I do a video where I mentioned Wave? I love Wave. I've been using Wave for years. I use it for personal bookkeeping and business. It's free. It's always been free. They have a bunch of tools there that are extremely helpful. So that would be step number 4. Get your finances in order so that you can start receiving that money with ease, and it'll go right into your bank account, and you have your bookkeeping set up, and it's just a lot less headache that way. And if you find yourself still needing a little bit more focus, I did do a more detailed guide. It's called What to Focus On the First Week Online, and it goes through day to day. This is what to focus on, because we can kind of get all over the place. It's really helpful. I'll leave that also in the description. There's a link for it. I was so scatterbrained. I really was. And I think because there's just so much to do, it feels overwhelming. You don't know what to do first. And you don't have to stick to this, but it at least tells you what you need to start with, end with, and anything in between. Whatever order you do it in is up to you. But I just think to have some type of structure, it's really important, and it helps smooth the process much, much faster. Step 5 is legal compliance and marketing. Every state is different. A lot of times if you're selling products completely online and it's just a digital download, there's some sales tax that you don't have to pay, but if you have a product and you're actually shipping them and mailing from home, you have to be in compliance with what your state requires in terms of sales tax and how it applies to customers that you are getting from out of your state and out of the country. So you want to make sure that you look into all of that, because you will be getting a letter. If there's anything major happening in your business and you're starting to make money and have sales, don't think that these pay companies are not reporting, like the PayPals and even is it Zelle or Venmo. They have these things now. If you're a business, there is some reporting that's going on, so you want to make sure that you're compliant, because the fees and the penalties, it's not worth the headache. It really isn't. And with marketing, remember, having a specific launch date can really help your effort in promoting a particular product or service. And also, having a launch date gives it maximum attention, and it keeps the momentum high leading up to that date when your product is available, especially when you have products that sell out. The marketing for a launch date is golden, and people can see the progress. Last of all, networking and promotion. We already know this, but again, it doesn't hurt to say and to remind to stay consistent with posting. I'm horrible at it. I don't like it. I don't like it. I'm not consistent on Instagram at all. I think it helps if you choose one that you can be consistent with. I know some people, they do Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, they do it all. I am not cut out for that, so I just focus on Instagram. Also, if you have a service-based business, of course, you want to do LinkedIn. Whatever it is, just stay talking and putting it out there of what you have to offer, and people share. That's another great thing about it. I get so many text messages and emails of someone forwarding me about a product that they don't want, but they think that I might want it, or a service. So you want to keep networking and promote your item. I hope you liked the video. I hope it adds some value, and I'll see you next time. Bye.